Spring has sprung early. In fact, over the decades, it has moved forward by 3 weeks. A woodland study looking back to the 1940s has found great tit birds in Wytham Woods near Oxford have been laying their eggs earlier than ever before. Scientists who have special permission to access their nests are blaming climate change. Our science correspondent Victoria Gill reports.
Wytham Woods near Oxford, a very special site of scientific interest. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the Wytham Great Tit project. Scientists have systematically monitored every chick hatched in the nest boxes here since 1947, and we're about to meet the newest generation.
Wow, how many are there?
So there are 8. So that's a very standard size for a great tit. Yeah. Now these parents have got a lot of work to do. They've got to find about 10,000 caterpillars for these.
10,000 to get them to fledge?
Yeah.
It's precisely because this has been a continuous study for all those decades that researchers have been able to see and to measure the change in the timing of spring here.
The 75 years that we've been studying the tits here, we've seen quite a marked shift in the timing of egg laying. So they're now laying about 3 weeks earlier. The tits here are actually managing to track the other members of their food chain quite well. So both the caterpillars and the eggs have also shifted their timing earlier. So the whole sort of food chain has shifted earlier in spring.
The woods were bequeathed to Oxford University by a wealthy local family back in 1942. Since then, they've been the site of dozens of different scientific projects. But the longest running is the Great Tit study, which Chris Perrins has been involved in for more than half a century.
What are your reflections on the seasonal shift?
That's fine, unless it gets to limits where the trees or the caterpillars or the birds can't do that shift because it's too big.
And that's still a question
that is still a big question to answer and a very interesting one.
The work here goes on, and whenever spring happens, it's a busy season for the birds and the scientists. Because as our climate changes, these rare, decades-long studies that track exactly how the natural world responds become more important as time goes on. Victoria Gill, BBC News, Wytham Wood.